Okay, today we wanted to talk about the power of self-awareness and the ability to self-coach, how positive that can be for your life over time. So self-awareness, just unpacking that very quickly, to me, in short, it kind of just means the ability for me to self-navigate my own emotions, for me to understand when I'm operating from emotion, whether that's helpful or not, be able to calm down, control my emotional state, and probably even create an emotional state up ahead of it. So we've got to have a really balanced and strong relationship with ourselves to be truly successful. And I'm just going to caveat success. I'm not talking about wealth. I'm just talking about happiness is a little bit woolly, but to really be successful from an internal construct, feel fulfilled in life and happy in life and feel like we're progressing and growing and learning, you've got to have quite a tough relationship with yourself. To be able to push yourself a little bit further, to be able to give yourself an easy out when it's required and not beat yourself up around the whole process. Because sometimes when we're talking like success mindset all the time, it can feel like you could be very, very hard on yourself. In fact, I've got a great example of that. I hold myself to probably higher standards than other people hold me in life across the board for everything. And that for me creates probably a high performance. But I believe that I'm being very kind to myself through the process. So the story is, I think we were pre-COVID, this was, but it just always stuck in my mind as a difference of mindset. I'm on the beach in Australia and my wife's sister is sitting with me. And I'm doing the whole kind of sitting on the beach, knowing that I'm probably in better shape than most, 36-year-olds at the time. But going, need to sort this out, getting a little bit of the dad bod. And that was within a few words exactly what I said. And her reaction straight away was, Mike, you really need to be kinder to yourself. And my default response was, I think you've misunderstood my own thought process, because I'm very aware I'm in better shape than most of the population. But I'm not in competition with most of the population at all. I'm in fact in competition with myself. I'm not beating myself up about it. I'm being kind to my emotional state. But I am going to nudge myself. I am going to push myself. And I do want me to be delivering to a higher standard at all times. But for me, like within that construct, I was like, that's me being nice. It's like, hey, Mike, before you start sliding down the sort of path where many people do go in fatherhood and post-professional sporting careers, just pick yourself up and make sure you're nudging in the right way. Very, very fucking kind to yourself, rather than, for me, what would be really unkind is to go, don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden we're sliding, and we're kind of in an ill health position with the first time we paid attention to it. And then we went, there's a problem. Like, were you kind to yourself or not kind to yourself through this, at this stage? So that's kind of the way I always look at it. I'm actually really being kind to myself through the process. I think when I've explained this to other people, where a lot of other people get unstuck is just that self-deprivation and the beating up of oneself to accomplish those results. And I think that's just, I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence. Like, where's that starting point? I'm grateful for my body. I've got 13 operations or something on, in the past career. I've got one completely replaced shoulder. And honestly, I wake up some mornings feeling pretty bruised and battered. But I'm really grateful that I know as a vehicle, I'm still in better shape than most people. And that's the starting point. I'm like grateful. I know I'm doing well. But if we maybe attach this to the slight edge philosophy of there are no straight lines in life. So every morning I got to get up and get a little bit better. That's really, really kind to myself. Because if I'm not, bear in mind, I'm never beating myself up. That if I'm not getting a little bit better, I'm getting a little bit worse, because there are no straight lines. Now, if I don't self-coach, and I'm getting a little bit worse every day, and I'm being kind to myself by not picking myself up on this, where do I end up? And to be honest with you, that's the majority of people, certainly in the UK, I'm sure worldwide, from a full mindset and philosophy point of view. So I seem to differ to many people as far as what I believe is being kind to yourself and the sort of self-awareness and self-emotional regulation around that. Honestly, I prefer my version.